Affordability seems to be the new buzzword of the Democrat Party. Everywhere you look in races all over the nation, whether it be New York, Chicago, New Jersey, or the gubernatorial race for Virginia, affordability has been the driver of the election of Democrats to some of the highest positions of authority in the nation. Abigail Spanberger, recent gubernatorial elect of the Virginian Commonwealth, is no stranger to this word. After running on a platform of reproductive freedom, affordability, low affordable health care, and affordable housing, Abigail Spanberger has come under scrutiny for a slew of new taxation proposals from her Democrat peers within the Virginia legislature. Spanberger has yet to come out in defiance of these proposed new taxes, yet assures Virginia voters that her number one goal is to make Virginia more affordable for everyone. Let's take a look at a video from a few months back, right after Spanberger was elected governor of Virginia. Let's examine the platform that she ran on, and then look at another video that outlines these new tax proposals.
Welcome back to Fox News on the Hill. Virginia's newly elected Democratic Governor, Abigail Spanberger, will take office next month. She has now released her plans for the Commonwealth's affordability agenda. She is focusing in on reining in health care costs, energy prices, and expanding affordable housing. She will be Virginia's very first female governor. We want to welcome back in Virginia Governor-elect Abigail Spanberger to On the Hill. Governor, good morning. Anybody who's been following your campaign, this is going to sound familiar because your affordability agenda was a lot of the things that you were campaigning on.
So he makes it very clear that she has released her plan for making Virginia more affordable. So as he asks questions about her plan, she should have no problem answering those questions in great detail.
Why is this so important to you? And is this something you think is achievable?
It's important to me because it's important to Virginia voters. Everywhere I traveled along the campaign trail across Virginia, I heard from people their worries about being able to afford their prescription drugs, their worries about being able to put food on the table, their worries about being able to buy a house or rent a place in the community where they wanted to live, their worries about their kids and the future that they will or won't be able to achieve. And so knowing that costs and overall issues of affordability are on the minds of Virginians every day, I rolled out a plan over the summer saying, if I'm elected, these are the things I'm going to focus on: lowering costs in housing, healthcare, and energy. And now as we head towards January, as the General Assembly is getting ready to begin in January, I submitted a variety of bills and have endorsed a number of existing ones. Came together just on Thursday with members of the General Assembly to say this is our affordable Virginia agenda. These are the bills.
She submitted a number of bills, endorsed a number of bills, got together with the Virginia state legislature and said, this is our affordable Virginia. She should have no problem answering his questions and giving us even a brief outline of what the more affordable Virginia agenda actually is. It seems to me like even then, Abigail was still in campaign mode, and she was really saying a bunch of nothing as opposed to answering his question.
Bills that I will work to push through the General Assembly, and in concert with the work that I'll be doing through my administration, these are the steps forward that we're taking in working to deliver on the promises I made along the campaign trail.
but zero details on any of the bills, no examples of the bills, nothing. Just these are the bills. These are the bills. She understands that the vast majority of Virginians, let alone Americans, will not read those bills. They will not search them out. They won't hunt them down. They'll simply just ignore them until the bills are signed into law and actually begin to impact them on some level. True Democrat politician, always going to beat around the bush, because let's be real, if she gets into the details of her policies, 9 times out of 10, they're going to be incredibly unpopular, even among the people who voted for Abigail.
So, Governor-elect, I don't know if you heard at the beginning of this program, we had an economic correspondent who had said if she had one wish for 2026, it was that housing would be pushed to the forefront. How do you get that housing into the pipeline, not only get it built, but get it at a price point where people can actually afford it?
Well, we've spent time looking at what's been done creatively across other states. Certainly, there are other states that are doing things a little bit better than Virginia, and there's much that you can learn. But first and foremost, when we have affordable housing, we got to keep affordable housing in those terms of affordability. That's one element of.
Okay, so what is your plan for creating affordable housing? Well, we've been looking at a lot of other states who've taken a creative approach to affordable housing. Okay, what states are you looking at? Are those states meeting their goal when it comes to affordable housing? Are the creative steps that these states are taking, are they actually yielding fruit, so to speak? We're not going to get any of that. We've been just looking at some other states, and they've been working on affordable housing, and some are doing better than Virginia. Yeah, which ones? Tell us. Because if you looked at them and what they do is working, or if what they're doing is working, well, then every state can adopt the model and use it and achieve great success, Abigail. But do you think Abigail's going to tell us those states? Of course she's not.
Of the plan. We also need to give localities in Virginia, if they want to utilize innovative strategies to have housing of different price points, including more affordable or more workforce-oriented housing, that as a state, we need to give localities a little bit more freedom to make those choices. From a lending standpoint, ensuring.
Lots of doublespeak. We need to give municipalities more leeway when it comes to implementing creative ways to address the housing affordability issue. Yeah, but you're supposed to have a plan, Abigail. You're supposed to be able to give them an outline of a plan for them to follow, which according to what you campaigned on, would guarantee an increase in affordable housing. We're just getting a bunch of, in my opinion, gobbledygook, campaign rhetoric, doublespeak, because she says everything twice. I want to call her Jimmy 2 times at this point, but we're not getting that. But I think right here she hits the nail on the head. But as she hits the nail on the head, it raises another very serious question that many Democrat politicians have an incredibly hard time answering.
The dollars are available to make investments in building up housing across Virginia. There are many different challenges and elements of the problem, but at the end of the day, we just don't have enough supply. We do need to build more, and we need to ensure that the people have access to more affordable housing at this moment as well.
So, Governor,
okay, so now she's talking. Supply goes back to the economics 101, supply and demand. If you increase supply, cost will drop. This is the basic problem. There's not enough building taking place in these Democrat strongholds because of what? Dun, 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 regulation. Dun, 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 overtaxation. They are not incentivizing the people who build to build. And that is the underlying issue with the affordability crisis everywhere. And Democrats are going to tell you that the way to address this is by what? Raising taxes higher. not lowering taxes, not deregulating, but instead creating more taxes. That supposedly is going to create a environment conducive to making things more affordable. Oh yeah, by the way, they always come in with, we're going to raise the taxes on the millionaires and billionaires. They're going to pay for it. Instead of deregulating and lowering taxes so that everyone can receive a benefit from benefit in the new affordable economy, they just say, nah, we're going to find a sucker to put on the spot or to put on the hook to pay for it. Not lower taxes, not deregulate, force somebody to pay through taxation theft. That's about it. And that's basically what Abigail Spanberger's Democrat counterparts are doing when it comes to Virginia's approach to the affordability issue. Let's tap into this.
Largely on reducing the cost of living, Virginia Democratic lawmakers are now proposing a flood of tax increases and creating some new ones. 7 News' Nick Minogue breaks down how this could impact you and your wallet.
It's important to note that these are proposals at this point, and they're coming from members of the House of Delegates, and they have not been voted on yet.
Understand they're proposals, but the Democrats control both chambers of the legislature and they control the governorship. So pretty much they're going to happen.
Here's a list of the many tax increases and proposals Democrats in Virginia are considering passing. They include additional local sales tax in all Virginia counties and cities, new personal property tax on electric leaf blowers and electric landscaping equipment, large employer tax, gun and ammunition tax, new income tax brackets, a delivery tax. This would hit you if you make an order on Amazon, Uber Eats, or an order that includes you.
I live in California, so we already have all these taxes. One thing that should be noted is the current sales tax of Virginia Commonwealth is 5.75%, I believe. If these proposals are passed into law, it will raise their sales tax all the way to 13%, which would be the highest sales tax in the country, even higher than liberal Democrat strongholds like California and New York. So just let that sink in for a second. And do you think Abigail Spanberger is going to veto these things? Of course not. That's not what Democrats do. Name one Democrat in your lifetime that has supported deregulation. Just doesn't happen. Or even lower taxes. It just doesn't happen. So we know where this is headed. I hope the Virginians know that they got exactly what they wished for, and they are in the find out phase of the FAFO.
UPS, FedEx delivery, etc. here in Northern Virginia. There's also a tax they're looking at for events, concerts, an investment income tax, storage facility tax, gym membership tax, dog walking tax, dog grooming tax, counseling tax, digital personal property tax, new car taxes and highway use fees, an increase in the hotel tax here in Arlington. Statewide speed cameras. Now, these aren't taxes, but they would include more fines for some drivers.
Okay, so whatever happened to affordability? These aren't things that just exclusively impact millionaires and billionaires. These are things that impact people from all walks of life within the Virginia Commonwealth. So you're going to make Virginia more affordable, Abigail, by raising taxes on every single Virginian in the state. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, except it doesn't. You know what? I think we've heard enough. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. And overall, what do you think about Democrats who are running on a platform of affordability, but when the rubber meets the road, all they're doing is using that as a way to get into elected positions and then raise taxes? It's incredibly disturbing for me. I'd like to hear your opinion on it, your reasoning on it. Until the next time, thank you for everything you do for this channel. And please take care of yourselves, but most importantly, take care of each other. Peace.